In our Coffee Court discussions this morning, we look at Uganda's agricultural sector. The sector is one that contributes greatly to Uganda's economy and Uganda's gross domestic product. When you look at it in a way that we are looking at how we can add value to our agricultural sector or our agricultural product to make sure that even in the manufacturing sector, it is part of the pillars. Now, also when you look at the level of exports from coffee, tea, cotton, some of those are decreasing, but as we want more increase in these exports, we need to look at it more wisely. We need to see how government can tap in and help the farmers from the grassroots. With the parish development model, among many other programs, the government intended and still intends to ensure that the farmers down in villages or the rural setting can also be part of the value chain in Uganda's economy. The level of exports from agriculture will definitely benefit every Ugandan who is part of the production. And in our Coffee Court this morning, this is what we discuss. How is the agricultural sector of Uganda and how can we be ready to push for the level of exports to increase? Well, it's a pleasure and thank you for joining us on this Coffee Court where we ask the critical questions. It's always my pleasure when I meet, of course, entrepreneurs, business people, people that matter in this nation. I am talking about the policy makers. And this time around we are discussing matters of agriculture, and I'll be speaking to, some of you call her Mama Cheers. She's a board member of the Private Sector Foundation, but also she advises the president on matters of agriculture. Dr. Adieri Omala. Doctor, thank you for joining me.
Nice meeting you.
Okay.
It's great to meet you at your Private Sector Foundation. And back again, I introduce myself. I'm Dr. Julian Adieri Omala, a doctor in agriculture and rural transformation.
Not PhD.
Not PhD. It's a honor. It's a PhD, but an honor.
Who gave you the honor?
This is a Commonwealth University. For the work I have done with the informal sector, those people at the grassroots, transform them to become professionals.
You do a number of things. Don't you get lost in many things that you do?
And do you know an entrepreneur?
I do.
Yes. Can you define an entrepreneur?
People that start up a business and see it through from one level to the other.
An entrepreneur is professional in none, but a junk of all trade. You can do many things so long as you are a social entrepreneur. To me, I'm a social entrepreneur. My duty is to transform the people from the grassroots, those who have never even gone to school, also to be transformed, to be professionals in what they do. And that's why I chair a subcommittee of health, education, and skills.
And what does it do?
Skills, we ensure in whatever you do, you become a professional in that. We even train you, hand skill you to do what you are doing in a better way so that everybody becomes a professional and you do it in a better way and you produce results in whatever you do. Yes.
Let's now expound it to the level of the presidential advisor. You've had people say, do you have time to advise the president? Good enough I speak to one. Do you really have time to advise the president?
Yes, I have the time. We sit on the committee, Presidential Investor Roundtable, where we always sit and make the policies. And I want to say twice a year we meet the president. We always work with the Prime Minister and the ministries. And Uganda Investment Authority is our coordinator. So it's not that the president sits and Uganda advise him, but there is a time in a year where the private sector will sit on one side and the president, the Prime Minister and the ministry sit on the other side. Then we put out our views, which is affecting us in agriculture. So the president listens, the Prime Minister listens, and they take action on it. That's how we advise. But you don't have a chance to sit the president alone and advise him alone. We advise on the issues of policy, how can we improve the agriculture sector, what are our views as private sector. So we are coordinated by Uganda Investment Authority. That's how we advise.
Okay. The rains have started and good enough we are talking about agriculture. Is this good enough for Uganda?
The rain really for this year it has been the worst year. The first season all crops died. I planted 50 acres of walnuts, I got 10, and all of it was rubbish. And also the maize died and whatever. This is the second season. The rain is not consistent. So we are a bit worried, yes.
Okay. Statistics, the current, tell us that 37% is what agriculture contributes to the current GDP of Uganda. Is this good or bad enough?
To me, I want to say it's bad enough because we always proud the power of Africa, and indeed Uganda is a power of Africa, and we have the capacity to improve the agriculture sector, but there is always a gap between the informal sector, they call it the undeserved, and the academician, those one who know. So those one who know have their ideas in their brain, and those who don't have the ideas. So unless we bridge that gap and work together, that's when we shall be there. That's why at our farm, Noya Farm, we decided to make Delight Farm Institute for hands-on skilling, and we had decided to put in accommodation so that those who have the knowledge should come, and those who seek the knowledge should come, so that those who need the knowledge learn from those who have the knowledge, and those who have the knowledge should transfer it to the practitioners. That has been a gap missing, yes.
Okay. Good enough you advise the president on agriculture matters. Now advise Ugandans. The seasons have changed. Many times Uganda gets lost in exporting this and that. What do you think are some of the critical areas that different regions must concentrate on given the current era, Doctor?
To me, I believe in one thing. We should do things in the right way. That's why to begin with, I call upon the professionals to come and guide us in agriculture. For me, I'm a born of Hoima. I have a factory in Kawempe in Kampala, married in Tororo, but I decided to put my farm, my mango farm in Noya district. Why? There was a study which was done in the 50s by the alien from Karuma up to Sudan. Those areas are good for fruit farming. And I followed that study. I bought land in Noya. I planted 1,000 acres of mangoes. I planted citrus. I planted guavas. I planted raspberry. Whatever I have planted has come out perfectly. There is no magic, but because the texture, the climate fits what I'm doing in that area. That's why I'm succeeding in agriculture.
Are you saying everybody should do the way you did,
Perfect.
Doctor?
Perfect. Me, I'm a doctor in agriculture and road transformation. And when I'm doing my work in the community, that's what I'm meant to do. I'm doing my job. So, if you want to grow avocado, go and test the soil. Where avocado grows well, you plant it.
And where does it grow well? Good enough you're an expert in this area.
That's why I come out and I call upon the professionals to come out and pull out the map of Uganda and point the zone. And those are the issues we talk about to discuss at Uganda Investment Authority on the Presidential Investor Roundtable, that pull out the map of Uganda. It was done some time back, and see where do avocado grow well, where can you plant macadamia, where can you plant cashewnut, where can you plant beans. I will tell you, beans don't grow well. In our farm, we tried it, it cannot grow well. No. So it is the duty of our professional people in that sector to come out and market Uganda and what they are good at.
Now you have the opportunity. In those meetings, you speak to experts and people at your level. Now you have an opportunity to explain to the Ugandans and teach them what should we do in the different areas.
That's why I'm saying, yes, I went to northern Uganda because it's good for fruits, it's good for oilseeds, it's good for cereals. In Mityana, people are doing well in macadamia and cashewnut. In the central, people are doing well in coffee. It needs to pull out a map, a zoning map. What does better? So I will send you to Naro,
National Agriculture
Perfect.
Referral
I don't
Organization.
want to come out as an expert and talk. I might misguide Ugandans, mislead them, but they are technical people who studied that, who have all the data, so we can pull out that data and we inform Ugandans. It's very, very important. It should come out from the high camp where they are kept.
No, but you're a practical farmer, doctor, and I actually think a practical person speaks authoritatively more than...
True, I talk more because I did the soil testing and I confirmed where I sit, where I'm doing, where I'm practicing agriculture. It's the right area, it's the right climate, and that's why we are succeeding. And I want to tell you that we produce quality mangoes better than any other mangoes that have ever been produced in Uganda because we went and planted in the right area according to the right zoning. I insist on zoning. Why? You cannot plant avocado in Noya where it is very hot. It will not grow. I tried, of course I did my practical.
And you failed.
I planted more than 100 acres, but I can count a few avocados which survived. That's why I'm guiding Ugandans. Before you do land selection, first get what is good for that land. You can take the soil in Makerere, you test it, they guide you, but I want to tell you the truth, and I want to call upon the technical people to come out. Those who studied it, those who know it, who have the data up to the dot, and put it in the air for everybody to do the right thing. That's what we need to do as Uganda.
Apart from the soils, what is killing the agriculture sector as a presidential advisor?
To me, I say it. Those who know, they are not the practitioners. The practitioners, they don't know. And those who know, who have all the knowledge, they have no time for agriculture. Secondly, we did not market agriculture. I want you to tell you, they left agriculture for the informal sector, for the poor class. So even in the education, when they are doing training, they don't promote agriculture. To me, as me, I love agriculture, and I know it is the best way. Even if you are a civil servant, when you retire, you go back to the land where you come from. So why can't you do it a bit earlier, when you still have the energy, when you still have the money, and when you have the knowledge? We left the agriculture for the informal sector, the 60–80%. Those who have no money, those who have no knowledge, they are the one practicing agriculture, and they are the one feeding us. Now, if us who have gone to school, who have the technical knowledge, who have the money to invest, we go and invest in agriculture, it will be exciting. So that is a gap we need to bridge.
So who should address the mindset issues? If you are saying it's left for the informals, who is responsible to address these matters?
Me, I put it to government. Why to government? It's their duty. One, to ensure that they partner with us, the private sector.
Why can't I attach it to you? Because you have the privilege to advise the president. You reach where many of us don't.
I take it up and I do my job and I read advice. And not only to end up at advising, I'm a practitioner. I went ahead, I decided to start Delight Farm Institute for hands-on skilling. I decided to do the community outreach. Right now, my team, they're in the community. We are empowering 6,000 youth under the project Delight Farm with younger people. We are distributing sorghum. These sorghum seeds we are bought by private sector, and we are also adding up guava seedlings and the mango seedlings. We are in the community doing our job of transforming the youth. That is 6,000. We are also working with UN Women. We are empowering 3,000 women. So me, I'm doing my job, and I thank God for that.
You seem to be proud of the northern Uganda, and many of us are saying that's a no-go area. You know what is currently happening. You seem to be proud of the northern Uganda.
I'm so proud of northern Uganda, especially Noya Atlantis. It's known by the large commercial farmers. We are many, and we have the Investors Forum. And there's a time when I was the chairperson of the Investors Forum in Noya District. I'm proud of that because for us, we saw the light. And we decided to go and practice, and we are there, and we are happy, and we are proud of that.
One of the core sectors that government is looking up to for Vision 2040, apart from the tourism, the infrastructure, the human capital development, the oil and gas, is this sector of the agriculture.
The Paris model. For us, we started it a long time ago. Even in our farm, I want to tell you, I have 80 Parises.
Are you saying it's not a new idea?
It's not a new idea. That's what we started and that's what we are practicing. Of recent, we hosted National Planning Authority, the State Minister of Agriculture. They came and saw what they have in the paper. For us, we are doing it practically.
How connecting is the PDM to the agriculture sector? I don't see any connection.
It's connected. Because one, a Paris development model that is getting the people in the Paris to do agriculture in the same way and to pick their interests. What do they want? What do they prefer? How can they uplift themselves? So it's connected really.
Okay.
Because when they come in, they support the people in that Paris and what they do better. So for us, I can say in one farm of ours, we have 80 Parises.
Okay.
And me, I call upon the technical people to be more on the ground and guide the informal sector to do it right. But what I also don't agree with, saving the money. You cannot come and you give me, like they give the Paris 100 million when I have not paid the school fees. When
it will go to the schools.
I'm sleeping in the cote, in the Kasisira. I have a patient. How can you expect me, who have never gone to school? I'm not an expert in that. You give me your money and I don't solve my immediate problem.
Maybe that's when the parishioners now comes in to definitely address it. You've heard of issues of the African Continental Free Trade Area, issues of COMESA, and many of those areas where we meet as a country. Do you think as a presidential advisor, these have played any key role?
Well, it would have played a key role, but what we needed to do as Ugandan, put your house to order, then other people will come and help you to improve. So Uganda, we still have a duty to put our houses to order.
And what do you mean by putting the house together? It seems ambiguous.
Me, as I've told you, that me, I'm as a dairy. I already have a farm. I have a farm institute. I'm practicing agriculture. I'm already a doctor in agriculture and road transformation. But I will tell you, I need the professionals to come work with me. And I need those the informal sector, those who have never gone to school, to come at our institute. We all go to the garden. We know we should learn how to do it practically, not the theory. So what we need to turn the theory into practical. That's what I'm saying, we should put our house to order.
Okay. The president keeps on telling Ugandans who resort to agriculture as a by the way, that is a wrong thing. How did you run out of this mindset of resorting to agriculture as plan B? I'm
a proud farmer, and I want to tell you it's not a proud, it's the best decision I've ever done. As a manufacturer of cheese since 1996, I lacked raw materials, and that's why I would import concentrates all over from India, Israel. Now, I had to grow my mangoes. I had to go to the farmers, those Banyacharo, talk to them, mobilize them, put them in the group of 25. I have mobilized now up to 11,800 people. They have planted the mangoes, the guavas, and citrus. Now they are growing. My job is to make cheese juice. I want to make fresh juice from the fresh fruits grown by the community. Are we together? Now, by doing that, you cannot come and tell me it's by the way. No. I'm pressing my foot on the ground, I'm empowering the informal sector, and that is a real rural transformation, and that's what it means. And that is my profession as a PhD holder in that rural transformation. Yes. And that is the only way we can contribute to our vision 2040. Without that, we are lying ourselves. We need that complete value chain, well empowered, well documented, and well supported. That's why at times I always call upon the technical people to come and support me. Because me, I'm a social entrepreneur. I'm not technical. So when it comes to technical, I can only show you how we do it. The document issue, let the technical people do it. compute it and do it technically, but me, I want to see how is it done on the ground. It is that how to do which can help to put food on the table, which can help to put a coin. But because things are not done in the right way, that's why we are failing in agriculture. That's why we don't have tangible results. Yes.
And the president is saying it's one of the sectors that will lead us there. What needs to change with the legislators? Agriculture is a broad word. Cotton is part of it, coffee. We have many laws that regulate all these. Are they good enough?
The laws are good enough. The technical, I can say Uganda is a well-educated country. We have it all, but we lack one thing.
What do we have?
Doing.
We have it all. What do we have?
What I want to say, if you look at the curriculums, when you look at Naro, we have the best brain, the best knowledgeable, even means of agriculture, people who knows, but they don't practice practically.
As we sign out, so what advice do we have for them?
You have to give me time to talk to my customers. I have many things to talk before we close up because I'm a chairperson of Noya Fruitgrass Cooperative Society. So I have to talk to my members, what they should do, so to guide them, yes. To me, really, I love agriculture. And I'm more happy and more peaceful. You remember, I used to be a very fat woman because now I go to the garden, I walk, I move. I've managed to cut off weight. I've managed to have the food. I have managed to create the dollars worth. I have planted the medicinal garden. So me, I'm happy in the farm. And I want to tell you it's my joy. People should come. I'm doing agri-tourism. People should come and learn and enjoy and appreciate nature.
Okay.
Agriculture, we are supposed to be happy because when you have everything, you're not spending. You need to eat chicken, you just pick one. You need to eat goat's meat, you pick. You need this, you have everything. And that's how my mom raised me up. May I so rest in peace. A mom, you must have everything at home. A home of abundance. So that's how I want a fellow Ugandan to be, that life to lead.
Okay.
You are happy, you have it all. So I call upon the technical team to come and join us, and they do their job.
Doctor, thank you for speaking to us. Matters of agriculture and how it can be revamped continues. This is the Coffee Court, and I've been speaking to Dr. Adiero Mata. She advises the president on matters of agriculture. We drive.
And that was our Coffee Court this morning with Fred Makubia taking us through the agricultural sector. Meanwhile, after the break, we get back with our topic of discussion, looking at the state of Uganda's economy. Stick around. Good morning. Smart 24, driving business.